the city of the sun. You could have stayed, it's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah.
Archie, is it fun?
Fun.
Fun.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy.
New?
New?
New.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through color glass, time moves on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shape my smile.
Today is March 11, 2026. It is 5:44 a.m. So I need to record whatever I'm going to share with you really quickly, because in a few I have to wake up my kids. I've been busy all yesterday. But anyway, let's go straight to Twitter and let's get started. A lot's going on, a lot of topics. So this tweet, somebody shared it with me. And I've already posted on my community board for you on Pt1 Sussex. All right. So, Lifeline Narrm is proud to announce that Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, will be a keynote speaker at the Enter Edge Summit 2026 on workplace mental health from 15 to 16 April 2026 in Melbourne, Australia. So all of this is gonna happen in Australia. So that's very good. So she left a link here. This is what I like with the squad. When they come across things, they share it. I was not on Twitter yesterday, so I wasn't really sure about that, what was going on. So I'll share that on my community board with you, okay? 1 million Australian reach out, okay? The Enter Edge Summit is a professional development summit designed to equip leaders, practitioners, and change makers with the knowledge and tools to create mentally healthy, safe, and high-performing workplaces. Grounded in data, evidence, and proven approaches, the summit goes beyond lived experience to deliver practical strategies that drive real and lasting organizational change. So that's very good. All right, so I don't know if this you go full event agenda. Yeah, there's all the keynote speakers. I'll share the link. As a matter of fact, let me do that now. I'm gonna paste it. Where did I have it? Was it here? Okay, let's just go on my community, but that will be really quick. I should have paused. Come on. Yeah, this. Let me edit. Alright, so there. Alright, so there's that. Love this pic of Harry. Go Prince Harry. Go Prince Harry. Alright, so let's go to the next tweet. This one is regarding Meghan. I didn't share it yet, but I need to share it. Or did I? I don't think I shared it. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, will join podcaster Gemma O'Neill in conversation and for an intimate gala dinner. Very interesting. And her best life retreat with Meghan, Duchess of Sussex on Friday 17th April, through Sunday the 19th April 2026 in Sydney, Australia. Okay. So let me pause and share that as well. Oh my God, I didn't know I was recording. But anyway, so I just posted on my community board. So there it is here for Meghan. Alright, so that's that. I can't wait to see Meghan's gala dinner wear. Just registered. Wish me luck. What's the code for her best life retreat with Meghan, Duchess of Sussex? There's that. Alright, nice. Let's go to the next topic. So I thought I got these two out of the way the moment that I saw it. First was Harry. The second one is Meghan. Alright, so the Left Behinders. I did a short video. Or did I do it yet? Oh my God. There's a lot to share with you. I just don't have time to really do all of them. It would have been nice for me to do like a live stream or something like that. But I don't trust myself doing live stream because I say a lot of things that needs to be corrected. That's my problem. Otherwise, many of these tweets, especially now with so much information, and people are talking or sharing their thoughts with, especially in the US, with what's going on with the war. It would have been perfect for me to do live stream when I do have the time, and it will not be scheduled because I only whenever I have the time, that's when I quickly come and record some stuff or edit. But I don't trust myself to do live stream because I say a lot of things. Many of those things are usually on top of my head and they need to be fact checked. So that's why I don't do live stream. And it's okay if I miss, when I'm editing, I usually put screenshot of whatever I'm talking about. And if there's correction, I get to correct whatever sometimes I miss them because, anyway, let me not get into all of that. So much to share with you. So let's get this one out of the way. A lip reader claims that Prince William said to Princess Anne, quote, "I've had enough of hearing his name. To be honest, Prince Andrew." Well, the thing with him, okay, the problem William has, it's core values. What do you truly believe in? What do you believe in? Because if he had a sense of who he is and what he stands for, no matter what his advisors tell him to do, if it aligns with him, he would do it or reject it. But it seems like he doesn't have any. Wherever the wind blows, that's where he goes. Because the moment he found out that what Andrew was doing, if he wanted to distance himself publicly, he would have done so, not be driving around with them. I'm talking about past images that came out from the UK. All right, showing that he's in alignment with them and things like that. Because at that time, like many of the squad be saying, they need a scapegoat, okay, to put advertisement for scapegoat. That was a joke from the squad. Okay, at that time, Harry and Meghan were the scapegoat for him. He didn't see the true thing here. Because if, what I mean by true things is how the people were feeling, okay? It always go back to the people, okay? So he believed in his own lies. They manufactured lies and they believe in their lies without taking into consideration how do the people really feel about what I'm sharing here. but he doesn't have a core value for him to stand on, so he just go by his own lies. But whatever. But anyway, and that King Charles told Princess Anne, quote, "It's not good out there. It's rather tense, isn't it? It's not good. Boo parasite." Okay, so let's see here. But whatever the headline says, I don't truly trust it, but reality is reality. It's how the people are behaving. That's something that I saw. I hope I share. Yeah, it's next. All right, lip reader reveals Prince William's 7-word outburst during tense chat with Princess Anne. Prince William exchanged words with his aunt, Princess Anne, at the Commonwealth Day service. All right, so that was yesterday.
What did you know? What did you know? What did you know? Parasite! Parasites! Let it go! Parasites! Parasites!
So there's that. I'm gonna say a couple things after I finish all of this. Oh, a lot of reading. Okay, so there they are here. More from the lip reader. Prince William had a tense exchange with his aunt, Princess Anne, as their royals gathered at Westminster Abbey for the Commonwealth Day service yesterday. The lip reading expert and analysis at lip reader, Nicola Hickling, revealed the conversation as William made his feelings known. The lip reader claims the Prince of Wales said to Princess Anne, quote, "I've had enough of hearing his name, to be honest," end quote. During the conversation, William also said it's up for debate. The expert was unable to confirm who exactly the prince was referring to with his comment, but it could have been related to the ongoing fallout surrounding the disgraced Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. The former prince was arrested 2 weeks ago on suspicion of misconduct in public office. This is the nonsense that these people manufactured for themselves to feel good. All right, the amount of evidence that have been shown of Prince Andrew related to the Epstein, but they don't arrest him for that, but they arrest him for whatever they arrest him for. The royal family is trying to portray to be morally sound group of people. Okay? This is what they want to show the world. They know what is right from wrong. They truly do know what is right from wrong. But they prefer, what they attract to is what is wrong. The morally corrupt kind of behavior. That's where they feel more comfortable of being themselves. But when people call them out on their truly behavior, okay, which is despicable, morally corrupt, they don't like it. But they're presenting to the world that they are ethical, they are sound-minded of doing what is right. This is their problem. That's their problem. They're doing the wrong thing, but they want the world to know that they are good. But when in fact they are evil. The other thing I was trying to finish with everything before I start sharing my thought, the parallel with what's going on in the US. Okay, the difference between the US and the UK is that the US tends to be more upfront and doing their thing. All right, different branch to this viewpoint. The UK, on the other hand, like I just said, they are morally corrupt, but they don't like to show people. They don't like to be in front to show people their corruption. So the alignment between the US and the UK is that they are for what Trump is doing. I'm not talking about the people, okay? Like people like me, the population. I'm not talking about them. But there might be some of them, okay? Not 100%, but the majority of the people, both in the US and the UK, they are not for the morally corrupt kind of behavior. However, when it comes to government, all right, different set of rules here, this group I should say, the UK and the US are aligned. They are the same. One show forward, but in terms of the Republican, to a certain extent. When it comes to the government, they are aligned and the behavior. Okay? But the UK love to stay behind the scene, but propping up the US to go forward and do it. And then depend on how it goes with the US. If it's good or to their narrative or the people are aligned to it, then they will show themselves. I hope I'm making sense. All right. The deception of the UK. Okay. The US use the same tactic as the UK, deception, to change the mind of the people. While the US is doing the work in terms of government, the UK is behind the scene now looking at how the wind is blowing. The people, whether it was transferred to the US, sending their own men, what I'm like Will Lewis, for instance, have been working in the UK to blind the people, manufacture things, do unethical things, to help Murdoch get away from whatever alleged crime he committed and things like that. Now this guy was perfect for them to send to the US to do the same thing. Now, the other thing here, what's really helping the United States to a certain extent is that African American live in reality. We saw the good, the bad, and everything in between, and then when it's time for us to vote, we vote accordingly. So when we do our vote, we realize it didn't go our way. Yes, many of us were upset, including myself. I was depressed for like a day and then accept reality. Once I accept reality, I brace myself for whatever's gonna come. But at the end of the day, it needed to be done, because if majority of Americans then see what was clear as day and night for them, and then they vote for night and terror. So we have to brace ourselves, and the country had to go through it in order for them to understand it. Now, because African American accept reality, we knew what was gonna happen. Not that we are freaking psychic or anything. They told us. They told us what they were gonna do. So to prevent them from going forward, okay, when the wind is blowing, if you're fighting against the wind, most likely you will not win. So we let the wind pass and we stay behind. So this is what's happening here. The Epstein file, release, all these things are happening. And this is what now is shifting over to the UK. The people are seeing what they were trying to keep secret. Okay, the parallel here, a lot of our Americans are seeing for what it is. Why? Because of African American. Many people will say, but African American were not out there. Our protest is at the voting booth. Voting booth. Texas. Texas just repeat almost the same thing was what happened in 2024. So we brace ourselves for the next wave of terror. You saw Crockett was literally right there fighting for you, for everybody, but you saw she wasn't good enough for you. So we brace ourselves for the next terror that's going to come your way. You think the Republicans are just going to sit back and let you win like that? They're going to fight back. They did the same thing. They manipulate. They divide the Democrats. The moment I saw him talking, I didn't know him very well because I'm not from Texas. I went and looked back and I was like, oh, he's a Democrat. But I was very suspicious of him. I was like, wait a second. He's saying every single thing that people wanted to hear. Every single thing. I was like, that doesn't sound good to me. I forgot his name. I'll put his picture on the screen, who I'm talking about. He was running against Crockett for the primary. I was like, what? He doesn't sound too authentic. And little at a time, reporters from the area was reporting things. So things were starting to make sense to me. First, my instinct, as someone who's not from Texas, my instinct said, nah, sound too good to be true. Okay? But I don't know if I mentioned in my podcast, I remember mentioning, most likely I remove it because I didn't want to sound too whatever, but it's too late now. It doesn't matter anymore. But one thing I realized, he was saying all the right things that people wanted to hear. And I was very suspicious about that. The informations are out there for people to see and make proper decision. And you had Crockett, okay? Jasmine Crockett, literally in office. You saw and you seen her vote was aligning with you, but these people with their core racists, they didn't see she was good for the office. So now Texas better brace themselves for the next wave. Most likely that guy, he might win, but watch when he vote. Is he gonna vote to align with you? This is where he's gonna show you himself. You don't know where his values are. Maybe people in Texas might know, but whatever. But all in all, many people are not living in reality, and they're starting to be awakened. There's a video I just put out. Go check it out. I said, how many people have seen it? 17 minutes ago. One person have seen it 40 minutes ago. All right. War of Woke World, the difference between competent and incompetent presidents. Go watch that. Okay. A lot of videos in there. All right. So let's finish with this. Anti-monarchy campaigners, Republic staged a protest near the Abbey with placard reading, "What did you know?" in reference to former Prince Mountbatten Windsor's link to sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Furthermore, the king then told his sister, Princess Anne, "It's not good out there. It's rather tense, isn't it? It's not good." It's likely Charles was referring to the small but vocal group of anti-monarchist protesters outside the Abbey. I don't know how they know all of this. Who is really kidding? He wanted Andrew for a neighbor and has been seen associating with him and driving him around for the past 4 years. Now that the heat is on, Willie is trying to jump out of the frying pan. Well, there is always the fire. This is what I was saying. He doesn't have a core value. At that time, whatever nonsense they were selling the public, they believe it, and then they align themselves with the BS, and now they're trying to jump ship. All right, let me go wake up my kids. It's 6:08. All right, you might hear some noise in the background because they have to get ready for school. All right, let's finish up. So Prince William is a bully, apparently, saying, quote, "He had enough of hearing his name, Prince Andrew, then don't say things like this." So William and Kate will prefer Andrew as neighbors over Harry and Meghan's claims, royal commentator. They probably don't want Harry and Meghan as their new neighbors, said commentator Jenny Bond. Yeah, this is what the squad, that's what I was making reference to, and the squad don't forget. All right, so there's all of this. Let's go to the next one. The difference between William and Harry is that Harry has core values, and he stand by it. Okay? If certain topics come up, all right, no matter how hard the topic might be, and you will probably know which side Harry will be, with whatever the topic might be, just random topic, okay? You most likely will have an idea what Harry will stand for. But with William, you will not know. First, you will have to say, okay, how is the environment around this topic at the moment? Are the public for it or against it? That's the way that I will go to determine how William will go for it. Okay? If it's something that is negative against, the people, the majority, the public is against it, you will know this is the way William will go. But for Harry, no matter how tough the topic might be, he will tell you, okay, I'm against this because blah, 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 blah. But William, nah, he will have to know how the public is, the sentiment of the situation at the time. That's how William goes. All right, next tweet. So he's not fit to be in the position that he's in. Next tweet. He only found out about the Commonwealth ceremony because he had a meeting in the area and was having trouble finding parking. That family is cooked. Okay, this is someone from the UK. Is this the end of the British monarchy?
The royal family are as unpopular as ever. I was on Jeremy Ryan a couple of weeks ago and I was talking about how unpopular the royal family is and how maybe they need to come up with a new plan for how they show up in the country, because the everyday person, even the monarchist, the right-centered, everyday working class British and the right nationalist individual is not particularly inspired by them. Yesterday was Commonwealth Day, I believe, and the royal family were in attendance in Westminster Abbey. Unfortunately, I had to go there for a meeting, so I found that out by trying to park. And the weirdest thing humanly possible was there just was no people. There was lots of police, lots of barricades, lots of roads closed, but no people. The only people that I saw were anti-monarchy protesters, people who are saying down with the crown and all these types of things.
Okay, I have shared some of those videos with you. What's good with that, because with so many AI, okay, videos here and there, people tend to think things are not real. They manufacture it to make you believe whatever it is that they want you to believe. So when you see someone like this from the UK who's talking, who's explaining what he saw and heard, the senses, okay, this is what you have to go by, the senses. And then you compare it with the video that were being shared, they all align. What he's saying here and the videos that I share with you, it aligned with his version of reality when he was in the area. All right, so let's finish. Oops.
Were the only people that I saw. Is this the end of the royal family in this country? Is this the beginning of the end of the royal family? Where is the fandom? Where is the mystique? Where is the joy and the mysticism associated with the royal family? And how do they save it, if at all?
All right, so all this has to do with the Epstein file. Now, past videos, I have said, even though the media is making the royal family look good, but they don't really want them. They really don't. Look how Verge, okay, with the US and the UK are coming almost, it's like two lines that were, when you have two parallel lines, they will never meet. Okay, they will never meet, but they could go the same direction. But this here, this is the point where the two parallel lines start shifting at an angle where they're gonna meet. I will not be surprised the things that's going on with the US, because right now the people in the US, now they are doing their own thing, fighting back in their own way against Trump. They were banking on Israel, whatever manipulation he did with the Epstein thing. They were banking on that to get what they wanted. Okay? What they wanted is the Middle East. Remember how I said they want the Middle East to turn like the US? Like each of the countries in the Middle East will be like a state similar to the United States. But it backfired. Okay? Like I said, oh my God, everything is coming together for me with my crazy analysis. There's a video that I have. The thumbnails is gray sky. And then in the middle, there's like a blue, like the sun is behind the clouds. And I said in that video, we have a small window of opportunity to get it right. This is it here. Their last defense was Iran. And what Iran is doing here is pushing them back. They're not going to get anything. And the other thing as well, the U.S. positioned itself in some friendly countries in the Middle East, like their base. They could go, and they were just positioning themselves to get to Iran. So what Iran did is, I don't know if mainstream media is talking about it, but what Iran did is pretty much blow up all of those bases, okay, where U.S. will go and do their thing to regroup and all of that. It's blowing them up. And I wasn't paying too much attention with where the UK is in the Middle East. So they're paying attention. They're paying attention. But at least right now, a lot of American is dying. A lot of American is dying. And they're not going to get Iran. And Iran is partnering China, Russia, and other places. And then now, the U.S. is not looking good at all because this war was not necessary. Iran did not bother us. Iran did not shoot at us. First, okay, remember the first time Israel shot at Iran, and then Iran retaliate, and then they come to agreement? That should have taught them something. Them meaning the U.S. and Israel. But they are so cocky, Israel and the U.S. are so cocky and confident of their military that they fail to pay attention. Well, that's so much. I'm not a analysis and all of that, but it's many things that I have said that I see is happening here. I'm not surprised at all. The U.S. is not looking good at all outside of the U.S. The only thing I would say, which I have said before, that will make African American look good and, you know, outside of the U.S. is the fact that the way we vote. 92% and 78 to 80% African American who voted the right way. You think the rest of the world is not paying attention to that? You think the rest of the world doesn't see the nonsense that's happening here? Everywhere the U.S. go is create chaos. Oh my God. All right. I went through so much with that. But everything, the moment I think the U.S. fall, the same thing is going to happen with the royal family. Okay? And this is where I hope the Brits pay attention, because they have the MAGA type of people in the UK. They're ready to take that spot. Okay? You guys should know more than I do. At least look at these thumbnails. Okay? Whoever aligned with these people, they're ready. They're ready to take the spot of the royal family, because they were here in the U.S. to support Trump. They wanted that. Okay? They wanted that. They wanted what Trump is doing right now. But the thing is that they're smart enough to not quickly jump in front to start the war. They were waiting to see how the war will go. That way they could show whether they will support or not. But anyway, so that's that. All right, let me play this again because I stopped in between. Let's listen to his analysis.
The royal family are as unpopular as ever. I was on Jeremy Ryan a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking about how unpopular the royal family is and how maybe they need to come up with a new plan for how they show up in the country, because the everyday person, even the monarchist, the right-centered, everyday working class British and the right nationalist individual is not particularly inspired by them. Yesterday was Commonwealth Day, I believe, and the royal family were in attendance in Westminster Abbey. Unfortunately, I had to go there for a meeting, so I found that out by trying to park. And the weirdest thing humanly possible was there just was no people. There was lots of police, lots of barricades, lots of roads closed, but no people. The only people that I saw were anti-monarchy protesters, people who are saying down with the crown and all these types of things, were the only people that I saw. Is this the end of the royal family in this country? Is this the beginning of the end of the royal family? Where is the fandom? Where is the mystique? Where is the joy and the mysticism associated with the royal family? And how do they save it, if at all?
Okay, so I let it play by itself. While I was listening to him, I see here Black America is trending. All right, let me pause this. This is the only response here. What is his TikTok handle? All right, I'm not on TikTok.
The royal family are...
Oops, the thing disappeared. I was just about to click on, you know what? After I finish this video, I'll go and check to see what the trend Black America. Let me pause and write it so I don't forget. So this is the next tweet. I spent too much time on this. All right, let's pause. This is a long thread. There's one that was very long. Okay, maybe that's not it. All right, let's pause this.